Hi all, this is Dan Brick, and today we're going to look at the Lion Knights Castle. This is set 10305. It has 4,514 pieces, and it comes with 22 minifigures. So let's take a closer look at it now. This is LEGO's 90th anniversary set, and they put a lot of Easter eggs and references into it from all the castle sets, starting off with the first castle set in 1978, the yellow castle. And we'll go through that as we go take a look at the outside as well as the inside of the building. And the instruction manual also references a ton more references in there. And it's being spoken by, from Magisto here. He's the one that's giving all the references within the manual. Although I will say, as far as this minifigure of Magisto goes, it is kind of not the greatest. It's very plain. They should have given him like a belt and the coin purse that he has on prior forms, but I guess that's a small complaint considering how good the rest of the set is. So now let's get a closer look here of the exterior, and then we'll go to the inside of this castle. So to take a look at this exterior, you can see this castle is pretty impressive with its overall design as well as its size and all the detail that has gone into it. So starting off with the front, there's two play features. This drawbridge here, you can control it with a little piece here that'll open and close it. And when you close it there, the minifig drop down into the dungeon in the basement of the castle. The next play feature is you can bring up the castle gate by spinning a wheel up top here. And with the press of the button, that gate will drop back down. And as we kind of look at the front of the castle, you can see it has kind of a standard Lego castle theme with all these towers and turrets, as well as the Tudor style house over there. But unlike the other castles of the past, this just has way more detail. They've got just regular 1 by gray bricks, as well as these masonry bricks mixed in there to give it more detail. We got these really cool like narrow windows where you use snot brick and tile, as well as these 1 by 1 pieces to make those like little archer slots to shoot arrows through. And then we got a nice mix of these old classic Lego trees, as well as these more modern ones with the modern pieces. But they did use black bark to reference the trees from the classic Lego sets, which I like that detail. And then also in this tree, you got like a beehive right there. And there is one more play feature on this set. There's one more gate that opens and closes. If you can see it, it's kind of hard to see this black gate that opens and closes here. But that prevents anyone coming in this back entrance, which has water access. It's a little hard to tell that it's water access, but this blue plate here at the bottom does represent, there's water, and you got a little dock right here. And once again, you've got these cool little slotted windows, and then up here, you can actually drop these little barrel pieces, down and through, and drop that onto any attacking enemy soldiers. And as we come around here, you can see the other side of this Tudor style home, as well as these nice little like flower pots outside of these windowsills, and then some more vines just growing around the exterior of the building. Over here we've got this water mill that's connected to I think it was a millstone, where they can grind up some flour to make bread. It's a little hard to see, let me zoom in. There's a little door here that does open. It's a brick-built door, and it does lead into that room there. It's too narrow for a minifigure to actually like move through, but it is cool that it does function, and you can open and close that door. And now as we come back around to the front, we can see a little more detail. As we pop up into this little courtyard here, you can see this nice vine coming over this archway, and underneath this food stand is how you get down to the Forest Men's little hideout down there. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And then like the last details on the exterior of this set that I really like are these cloth Lion Knights flags. Both that blue one as well as this big yellow one here. You just don't get too many cloth flags anymore. And then one last thing I forgot to point out was the two Lion Knight shields above the entryway. Now let's go ahead and look at the inside of this build, where you can just swing open these back bits. And I'm going to take this off the Lazy Susan so we can kind of get a little bit of a better look. Here's the interior of the left side of the castle, starting with the top floors and moving down to the dungeon. As we can see here, this is the minifigure that dropped in off of the drawbridge as I closed it on him and he fell into the dungeon. So they just fall in right through here. And within the dungeon you can see there is a resident who's been here for far too long, as well as this empty cage cell here for a second prisoner. Now, this second dungeon cell has a little Easter egg. If you shut this little hinge and we take a look over here, you can flip this open to where the forest men have a little hideout with their shield and bow and arrow against the wall, but also this part slides open and you can escape from that second prison cell through here. So now let's get this back together and reopen this hinge again. As we come over here, you can kind of see like the armory up here with the two shields, a couple of helmets, and a spear. And there's more of an armory up here on the top level of the castle where you can see a bunch of swords, a mace on that rack, as well as a crossbow and a couple bolts on the wall. And up here we got a couple of shields. The one on the left is a reference to an older Lego castle faction or army faction. And the one on the right is a reference to another one, but I'm not sure which one that is off the top of my head. Here's where I mentioned you can drop these little barrel pieces down these holes to kill the enemy soldiers attacking your base. And over here's the look in this tower, and it's really cool how they have this jumper piece so you can have a minifigure standing kind of in the center of the window looking out if you would like. You can see that there. And then as we come down to this kind of like the main level of the castle where the drawbridge is, over here this gate is like a little cell to keep a horse in storage, and you could also put another horse over there as well. And now as we come over here to the right side of the castle, we can see what it looks like. Starting with this ground level, here's that water mill as well as the mill stone where you can kind of mill up some flour. And over here you can see they made some bread, so they must have a kitchen somewhere where they cook that bread. Oh no, here's the kitchen right over here. I'm sorry about that. You can see they got a croissant, some white carrots over there. Get a little better look in. As well as like a fry pan in the oven there, it looks like, and then some drinks over there, and a couple of pretzels, if you can see them up on the wall. Above that, here you can see there's like a little baby grand piano and a fireplace, an axe and some wood. And if you can't see that, it is a printed piece for that, representing that wood in that small little room there. As we come up here is the reference to the Yellow Castle. I think it was set 385 or 395. But it's like the little kid here would be building that castle and playing with that. And as we come over here to the king's room, or the queen's room, you got her bed, and then this letter in the instruction manual, it says it has Basil the Batlord's seal on it. He's a reference to a, I think it was an 80s, 90s castle minifigure. He's also a CMF recently. And then here in the dining room, you can see this pretty cool table, a couple of chairs, and then these three shields were in that original Yellow Castle set as well. Referencing, that first Yellow Castle. And then also in that Yellow Castle, the main minifigure was a queen, and I think that's why they did another queen here. And this queen, she also has a helmet too, so she can be ready for battle. And then another reference to the classic castle is this bell tower here. In the instruction manual, it says, "This bell tower rings when the wolf pack is attacking to alert the citizens that, take cover, the wolf pack is coming." I believe there may be a couple more other references within this set, but I don't recall them offhand. And then some of the references were just, strictly in the manual. And then one thing I would say is really cool about this hinging piece is, as you can see that wall moving there, this is like a free-floating wall right in there. And you can see as I open and close it, it kind of moves. But it's really cool how they designed that piece to be able to move, as well as this cool little walkway through here Once again, just the overall detail of this set was really top notch, and how all these walkways do connect, and how the minifigures can just be kind of placed throughout the set and move about. It makes a really cool display piece, and you can make some scenes. The one thing I did forget is, I don't know if you can actually really see down into this forestman's hideout. Let me get it open off camera and we can see if we can take a peek down there. It's hard to see down in this forestman's hideout under that food cart or food stand, but if you can see there's like a little chair, a table with like a treasure map on it, as well as a little candle with a flame lit and a cup. I like this little addition, Easter egg, of that forestman's hideout. It fits with their lore of them being mischievous characters. Who the Lion's Knights, they're never really sure what they're up to, but it seems like they're not up to anything too bad, so they're allowed to stay within the castle, or at least be in the presence without being attacked. Overall, this is a great set, and it comes with a great lineup of minifigures, from the Lion Knights to some Black Falcons. We got some villagers, a little baby goat, the forest men, and then there's a couple more the Lion Knight soldiers. And you get those two really cool horses with the barding and the knights on them, as well as this ox-driven cart. And one last thing that the instruction manual did say is the Black Falcons and the Lion Knights are no longer at war with one another. They're in a time of peace, which is interesting because in the past they used to always be at war with one another. But at least for now, they're in a time of peace. Overall, this is a great set. The biggest gripe I had was the lack of detail on Magisto there. And it is, I believe, set to retire at the end of this year. So if you were thinking about getting this set, now is the time to get it before it does go out of stock. When I bought this earlier this year, it said it was out of stock. There's about a 2-month delay to get it, but it's not out of production yet, so you can still get it, and it's not an officially retired set yet. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thanks. Bye.